T-test and independent sample with unequal variance?
Oh, what's this?
Oh my god, let me think. Wait. Oh.
Moments later.
Uy, di ba, Steph? Napag-aralan natin yan?
Ay, tama. Di ba alam mo ang procedure kung paano mag-solve niyan?
Oo, ito may video presentation ako. Tara, tignan natin.
Wow, amazing.
Today, we will discuss about t-test independent sample with unequal variance. A t-test is used to compare two means, the means of two independent samples of two independent groups. Ideally, the t-test is used when there is less than 30 samples. But before that, we'll undergo variance testing. F-test formula. F is equal to S sub 1 squared over S sub 2 squared. The numerator refers to the one who has the bigger variance. The denominator refers to the one who has the smaller variance. The purpose of degrees of freedom is to get the F critical or F crit. So to get the F crit, we must use the equation n sub 1 minus 1 over n sub 2 minus 1. Once the result of df sub 1, which is your numerator, and df sub 2, which is your denominator from the given equation, is taken, use the proper f-test table according to the alpha given by the problem. When you have already taken the df sub 1 and df sub 2, you must search the f critical accordingly to its alpha, which is given in the problem. Here is an example of an f table with an alpha of 0.05. Comparing the f-test and the f-critical. If the f-test has the greater value than the f-critical, therefore the t-distribution has an unequal variance. In hypothesis testing, H sub 0 or the null hypothesis states that there is no significant difference. H sub A or H sub 1 in other source or the alternative hypothesis states that there is significant difference. T-test independent sample with an equal variance formula. T is equal to mean sub 1 minus mean sub 2 over square root of S sub 1 squared over N sub 1 plus S sub 2 squared over N sub 2. X sub 1 is mean of sample number 1. X sub 2 is the mean of sample number 2. S sub 1 is the standard deviation of sample number 1. While S sub 2 is the standard deviation of sample number 2. N sub 1 is the number of population or observation in sample number 1, while N sub 2 is the number of population or observation in sample number 2. For the conclusion, if t computed values is greater than or beyond the critical value, reject the null hypothesis if the claim is the null hypothesis. If the t computed is less than the critical value, accept the null hypothesis if the claim is the null hypothesis.
So madali naman. So ano, solve natin? Tara, solve natin. Tara, solve natin.
So, this is the problem given to the racers. The average size of a burger in Bukay Pait is 181 inches. The average size of a burger in Pulang Bato is 188 inches. Assume that the data were attained from two samples with standard deviations of 28 and 10, and the sample sizes are 6 and 8 respectively. Find the confidence interval of two means at alpha 0.10. So here are the given. X sub 1 is equal to 181, while x sub 2 is equal to 188. S sub 1 is equal to 28, while S sub 2 is equal to 10. N sub 1 is equal to 6, and N sub 2 is equal to 8. Hypothesis testing. Null hypothesis. Mu sub 1 is equal to 188, which is the claim. Alternative hypothesis. Mu sub 1 is not equal to 188. These are the given level of significance. Alpha is equal to 10% or 0.10. T sub alpha over 2 is equal to positive and negative 2.015, while the degree of freedom is equal to n sub 1 minus 1 and n sub 2 minus 1. Then, we will get the F-test using the formula given earlier. F is equal to S sub 1 squared over S sub 2 squared. Therefore, 28 squared over 10 squared is equal to 7.84. Then we will find the F critical using the population mean subtracted by 1 and place them to their respective orders. F critical is equal to n sub 1 minus 1 over n sub 2 minus 2. Then we will get 5 over 7. The final answer will be 3.9715. So if you're wondering where we solve 3.9715, we use the F table with an alpha of 0.05. Even though the alpha given in the problem was 0.10, we divided it into 2 since the problem is two-tailed. Since 7.84 is greater than 3.9715, we can conclude that S sub 1 is not equal to S sub 2. And so, we will proceed to the solving of the t-test and equal variance using the equation given on the previous statement. So, we must substitute each given to its respective places, resulting into this. After the substitution, solve it in a MDAS-like order, but delaying the division of the numerator to the denominator to the last part would be an efficient way of handling the equation. So, the result would be t is equal to 181 minus 188 over square root of 28 squared over 6 plus 10 squared over 8. Therefore, t is equal to negative 0.5850285805. The conclusion would be the t computed value negative 0.5805285805 is lesser than the t tabular value positive and negative 2.015. Therefore, the null hypothesis is accepted and the alternative hypothesis is rejected. Hence, there is no enough evidence to reject the claim, so it can't be concluded that there is a significant difference between the burgers from Bukay Pait and Pulang Bato at alpha 0.10.
So, ang sagot ay 0.5850285805. Wait! Where's the next location? Oh! We don't know. Look! Find the green flag near the RS.
Saan yun?
What's RS? Sa restroom.
Oh.
Restroom RR. Wait, reviewing stand?
Oh!
Let's go!
20 minutes later.
Blackpink in your area. Blackpink in your area.
Nasaan ang flag? Kita niyo? Oh! Teka na. Come on.
There's a message.
Message. Wow. Ano to? Oh, what is this? Oh my God. It's a message composed of letters, numbers.
Moments later.
Ano
Ano to?
Oh my
Alam ko
God.
to, solve. Alam ko to. Raw data lang to. Tara, isolve talaga?
Oh, God.
Application number 2. Part of your study is to know the number of students' participation of different clubs and school organizations. You have randomly selected groups of male and female as your participants of each cluster of clubs that are listed below. Use alpha 0.10 to find the confidence interval of the variance between the two means. Find if there is such significant difference between data of participation. The twist on this application is that the given data are coded into a raw data table, like the one below. But so far, nothing has really changed. We must only use a table to compute for the mean, standard deviation, and the population mean. This could be done through the use of scientific calculator by using the statistical method, which other tutorial videos may have. So here is our data for female participants: 29, 25, 17, 36, 41, 29, 34, 27, and 29. Male participants: 55, 29, 37, 30, 10, 39, 41, and 27. So moving on, here are the given, which are the results that are taken from the raw data table. Given: mean sub 1 is equal to 2.966666667. N sub 1 is equal to 9. S sub 1 is equal to 6.8738635542. Mean sub 2 is equal to 33.5. N sub 2 is equal to 8. S sub 2 is equal to 13.027444356. And so, as the level of significance, alpha is equal to 10% or 0.10. Degrees of freedom is equal to n sub 1 minus 1 and n sub 2 minus 1. T sub alpha over 2 is equal to positive and negative 1.895. By the way, this is also stated as two-tailed, then correspond to the following t-table according to its alpha. As we did with the previous f-test, we also need to figure out the s with a higher value and equate them. F is equal to s sub 1 squared over s sub 2 squared. Therefore, 13.027444356 over 6.8738635542 is equal to 3.59. This also goes for the F critical. F critical is equal to n sub 1 minus 1 over n sub 2 minus 1 is equal to 7 over 8. F critical therefore is equal to 3.5005. Since 3.59 is greater than 3.5005, we can conclude that S sub 1 is not equal to S sub 2. Then proceed to the t-test and equal variance formula for independent sample. Here, we substituted every given to get the result, which is t is equal to 29.666667 minus 33.5 over the square root of 6.8738635542 squared over 9 plus 13.027444356 squared over 8. Therefore, 8 is equal to negative 0.745154789. Therefore, the conclusion would be the t computed value negative 0.745154789 is lesser than the t tabular value positive and negative 1.895. Therefore, the null hypothesis is accepted and the alternative hypothesis is rejected. Hence, there is no enough evidence to reject the claim, so it can't be concluded that there is a significant difference within the sample of students participating into different clubs within the school at alpha 0.10.
Tama ba? Check nyo nga.
Yun ko tama.
Tama to! Tama! Teka, saan naman ang next location natin? Tingnan nyo. Oh my God!
Representing for reggae dancehall promo. You know how we roll. Me make it bounce on the left, bounce on the right. Two of them together, man, now watch me all night. Look on the ground, me make it bounce. What a sight.
I see staring straight back at me. When will my reflection just who I am inside? Kung wala ka nang maintindihan, kung wala ka nang makapitan, kapit ka